So, I've talked about this before, but not quite as properly as I'm going to now, but the whole not all men argument. Here's the thing, a lot of guys get made fun of by feminists and whatever for saying this because the second anyone says anything about the patriarchy or the way men can't, some men, I guess, if you want, before you start yelling, not all men, behave or act or whatever else, they all go, well, not all men. And it's just stupid. Because no, the person is not talking about every single man on the planet. Obviously. And before you say, well, she said just men did this thing. Okay, so let's say that we have a group of people who committed this act. That, let's say you got a bunch of boys and no girls, just boys who stole the cookies from the cookie jar. You say boys stole the cookies from the cookie jar because that is something to describe the people who did the thing. Are you saying that every single boy on the planet stole the cookie from the cookie jar? No, you're saying, but you're saying that it was boys who stole the cookies from the cookie jar. And if that's a little too complex for you, okay, well, we say, there's a common saying, kids are cruel. Well, are we saying that every single child is cruel? No, we are just saying that, kids, will bully each other, and not every single child, but you don't hear people saying, well, not all kids, when someone says kids are cruel. Or when someone says, oh, I hate people suck, or something like that. They're not saying that every single person on the planet sucks, or they hate them, because obviously they have friends that they're talking to about this, and obviously they have a family member, they have some people that they love and they care about, and whatever else. They're saying that they're just making those kind of generalized statements because to categorize giving a categorization of the people that or the thing or whatever that have done the wrong thing. Sorry, it's like dogs will always love you. They're not every single dog will love you. And not every dog, dogs have bad histories and whatever else. And humans are destroying the planet. Is every single human being destroying the planet? No. Well, what about those tribes who have been completely untouched by modern society in Australia and Africa and whatnot? Are they destroying the planet? No, actually they're not. And what about those people who live off the land and recycle everything and all this other stuff? And in fact, they are healing the planet more than they're harming it. Are they destroying the planet? No, but human beings are the ones who are destroying the planet. So we say humans are destroying the planet. So if men are doing something wrong, if a categorization, so we're saying, okay, men rape that's kind of, hold on, because it's not just men rape, obviously, but saying that, talking about male entitlement or kind of phenomenons that happen among men, we're not saying that happens with every man, we're using that as a categorization. Not to mention, how many times have you heard, oh, women are like this, or girls are like this, or whatever else, and and every single, if ever I just try to get back at them for it and I'll say, well, not all women are like that, and they're like, you know what I meant. So why is it when a woman makes a generalized statement about men, it's not all men, jeez. So if you say that, you go to a women's shelter and say, all these women were beaten up by men. Are you saying that every single man beat up these women? No. You're saying as a categorization, and people make generalizations for uses of emphasis. It's exaggeration, linguistic tools to better further your point, but using things like exaggeration and generalizations. Another example is, hey, saying men don't rape people, and they're not like, well, I wouldn't be planning on doing that shit and whatever else, right? A similar example is, say you're at a public pool and there's some kids running beside the pool, and then the lifeguard's like, hey kids, stop running. You don't hear all the children like, wait, I wasn't running, why are you saying that, what? No, because they know they're not the ones who are doing it. You know that that he's talking to the kids, like the 3 kids that are running, not the other 50 that are on the pool grounds. It's because if they're not talking to you, then you know that you don't have to. It's implied that you're not talking to every single person under this categorization. Like, you can't. Humans are so different and diverse. You can't make a statement like that. And besides, how many times have fathers said, like, I saw this post and it was like, men to women. It's like, well, not all men. Men to their daughters, yes, all men. Because, I mean, I've heard this from fathers who've been my teachers or just seen things like that. And all this other stuff, like saying, like, oh, I know how boys are this, that, and the other thing. And I see men doing that to each other, and then nobody cares, and nobody bats an eye. Like, you're doing the exact same thing that you're getting so pissed off at everyone else is doing, but since it's a man saying, oh, men do this thing, please learn that not everything that is said is 100% literal and inclusive. You say, I'm starving. If you're really hungry, are you actually starving? No, you had something to eat 6 hours ago, so you're not starving, which, you know, means you're gonna, like, your body is shutting down because it hasn't had food in such a long time. You're using an exaggeration to explain you're not just hungry, you're really fucking hungry. So, kids, today we learned things about exaggeration and generalization. It does not mean we are trying to insult every single human being or cat or animal, every single thing that fits within this category, but it is a descriptor to describe the people or whatever that did this thing. You say, like, you could say that women worked hard and got the right to vote. Did every single woman do that? No! So, do we get this now? Do we understand? Okay. People make generalized statements about other people all the time. Teenagers, for example. But we know we're not talking about every single teenager. We're not talking about every single old person or whatever else categorization you could possibly think of. We're talking about a specific group. And if you don't belong in that, you automatically know. Yet for some reason, grown men can't figure this out. Anyways, thanks for listening. I'm not trying to attack anyone. I'm just trying to clarify some things about the English language. Thanks for watching.